if I was Red, I would definitely feel bad about that game, but I would also feel like it's a type of loss where you feel like, okay, well, I just messed it up.
That's the kind of game that you walk away from and you say, man, that was stupid.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, let's focus. Let's not do that again. And I mean, I've done that 1,000 times.
I still
made too many drones, or I've just completely seen something coming and then just be like, I'm just going to not do anything, and then you die. It was a silly game. It was a very silly game, and Rhett knows it, and I'm sure that he'll react very well in Game 2.
So, of course, on the left bottom side of Cloud Kingdom, we got the man who took 4th place at the NASL Season 3 and got $5,000 for his efforts. It's the Dutchman, my countryman, my friend, Liquid Red.
Jos de Kroon.
Jos.
Jos.
Yeah, Jos is good.
Drone so hard.
Drone so hard. Well, HuK was definitely not trying to outmine him. But
not at all, Kev. As we do see HuK with that early probe coming into the main base of Red. Top 3 probe harass in the world, Kev?
Yes, back in the beta days. HuK got a lot of love for his probe harass. It was like, oh my god, look at his Terran. He has like 9 SCVs low on health. Yes, that's really not because HuK's probe is that powerful. That's because the Terran did not react well. But it took people a while to figure out, Ben, that if you would send 2 SCVs instead of 1 by 1, you actually solve the whole problem immediately. Of course, HuK is the Evil Geniuses Proto spawning on the right top side of this map. The man who qualified for China as well. So we're going to see him later this year to WCS World Championships in Shanghai. That's going to be amazing. That would really be, wow. HuK rallied that probe a little bit out too far, so he's not going to be able to block this hatch. That would be really that would be a really sick moment for HuK to suddenly bounce back into those tournament spotlights. Oh, if you want to shine on one moment this year, Ben, besides the NASL Season 4 finals.
That's the one.
You want to shine in WCS.
You are so very right, Kev. Of course, Rhett of Team Liquid was at one point teammates with HuK.
Yes.
These guys have practiced together, they've lived together, they've hung out together, they know each other very, very well. So you can count on a lot of metagaming going on, a lot of mind games probably taking place between these two players. That could be part of why Game 1 was so damn crazy.
And it's not just that, of course. Both of them, as I said as well in the little segment, are without a doubt one of the most successful foreigners out there. I would say the only guys have been more successful, well, than Red, I guess you could say 91. Of course, Stefano has been more successful than these guys. And Nerdcho is getting close to that level as well. But Red has won international events. Red was the European champion of 2011. And this weekend he's going to try to become the champion once more.
Back to
back. That would be sick. And actually, now I'm going too far off topic, but if you look at Red's grid, Ben, I have faith in Red doing very, very well at WCS. And I could even see him winning it. I know that's a ballsy statement, but...
certainly when you think of the other guys that are the favorites to win, to me it's Nerdcho and Stefano. Stefano's ZVZ is definitely a weak point for him. Nerdcho might be a different story.
Yep, but Nerdcho doesn't like ZVZ that much either, and Nerdcho has 2 ZVZs on a row, I believe. Anyways, that is of course the WCS, which is coming up this weekend. We as StarCraft fans are excited, and I hope all the Swedish people are excited about that tournament as well. One of the tournaments I would have loved to attend, but let's focus on this game, man.
This game is more of the same, at least on Rhett's side of the map. 3 hatcheries, no gases just yet. We'll probably see him adding double gas here after his next big drone pump. He's going to have this Overlord pop out. He's going to make 6-7 drones, and then he'll probably go double gas. HuK is, what are you doing, HuK? He's just chrono boosting out a couple more Stalkers, so again, very similar opening from HuK as well.
This map, it's going to be a little bit easier, I think, for Red to deal with that, as its third base is a little bit close to the natural, so if he gets a couple of slow links out, it's going to just be a little bit easier. It's also easier to scout, as Red now already knows what's going on. You know, this is always one of those things, I'm sure that you noticed it as well, once you play Heart of the Swarm, and you feel like, yeah, I'm starting to get a hold of this map. But if you did not play 50-60 games on the map, there are so many of these little hidden spots. And I cannot imagine that Red has played a sick amount of games on Whirlwind. So I guess it's just a lot harder to really see what's going on. As why you saw a couple of pilots going up without Red really being aware of it.
Yeah.
Something like that will never happen on Cloud Kingdom, will never happen on Daybreak.
HuK does find one of Red's Overlords down here in the bottom half of the map, and he's going to chase it away. Not sure if he's going to be able to kill it in time.
I guess
doesn't look like it.
Is there going to be a sweet spot though for the Overlord?
Oh, actually.
If he flies too far to the right, I think now the...
Turn south. Poor little Overlord.
Now he's going to have to fly back again. This is going to be like the most intensive Overlord survival.
Everybody's trying to be heroes. Leave our friend alone. And they just die for the rest.
This Overlord is singing Destiny's Child right now, Ben. I'm a survivor. And he is.
There's the pylon down from HuK and 3 more gates, so it's going to be 4 gate pressure from HuK this time. And, you know, Ret does not have that much out on the map, and by that much I mean, of course, nothing. He is producing 6 roaches and I think 8 lings. That'll help.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more than fine. I don't really see that HuK's going to commit to this, as we already see him dropping the Twilight Council as well. Might put a little bit of pressure on, but Red, I really like the timing of these roaches, man. If Protoss would commit to this, and we see a lot of pylons going up once more, and this time I cannot imagine that Red is not going to take out all these pylons, and that really slows down the Protoss so much. I see the first warp in. Red seems so well prepared for this.
Yeah, he's incredibly prepared. First Zealots show up, +1, not even ready just yet. It's going to make these Zerglings a lot more effective. That's actually a small mistake from HuK, not allowing that upgrade to finish before he engages.
Yeah, a few seconds, but valuable seconds.
Critical seconds, Kev. 1 pylon down, and HuK's aggression completely crushed there.
Ooh, Dark Shrine follow-up, man.
Doesn't surprise me at all, man. Win behind, go Dark Shrine.
A wise man once said that.
Must have been you, Kev.
No, it was not me. I'm wise, but not that wise.
And we'll see if HuK's able to bounce back this way, but I think it's going to be very tough for a number of reasons. The biggest one, though, Kev, when you go DTs, you force Zerg to make a lot of units.
When behind, go Storm Oracle. I might have said that.
You know, I think I saw Hero doing that the other day.
Yeah.
He's really pioneering this Storm Oracle
Yeah,
play.
the hero drop, man. It's taking up. As you see 3 more gates being wiped in by HuK over here. He's going to get a cannon as well. It's going to make his life a lot easier, so this kind of gives me the feeling that HuK wants to just harass with those DTs and then go up to 3 bases. But Ben, you spoke about this so many times, and I'm very surprised, by the way, that Red did not even send a single link to check for this pylon, which actually going to be really backfire, because that's going to allow those DTs to be there so much quicker.
If he warps in 3-4 DTs, he could literally just kill the hatchery.
But Ben, you've said this so many times. Yes, those Dark Templars can do a lot of damage, but you're also investing really, really a lot, and it doesn't really matter how much you kill. The roach counter is always going to be incredibly scary.
That's exactly right. Right now, Red is aware of the fact that HuK wants to take
this hatch is so dead.
Now, this is reminding me a little bit of the MC game we saw. Of course, there's no Phoenixes in the mix right now.
HuK,
HuK, what are you
doing?
Oh, no. So misplayed.
He could have killed at least. Okay, Red was there with Overlord. Oh, there's an Overseer over here. So okay. So I think HuK just saw that Overseer, man. So I don't think that was a mistake at all. Yes, he could have sent one here, and then he would have been able to kill a few drones. But I think in the end, well, no, he lost another one.
No, he's
and he's going to lose another one. Okay.
Terrible turn of events there for HuK. That
wow.
was
shut down. Mortal Kombat still.
Right now, the announcer goes mega kill. As Ret kills the 4th straight.
Triple kill!
Kills
Man,
the 4th
I would
straight
love to have the Dota 2 voices. Every time I kill a roach, double kill, triple kill, ultra kill, yes!
And then you die.
I love this game! Oh, we see Ret, man, I would love StarCraft. I would be sitting in my room screaming at night, ultra kill! Even if I lose the game, it doesn't matter, just like,
it's okay, got another ultra kill.
Got a killing spree. Man, I had the best game ever with my Immortal here. I went 8-0 against roaches.
Big attack coming on the 3rd base of HuK, Kev, and this is what we were talking about, the big roach counter. Nice force fields going down, but a lot of units get through.
Yeah, Zella's doing a good job soaking up quite a bit of damage.
But look at the flank, man. Ret just has so incredibly much. Unfortunately, there's no detection there, so this one DT is going to get a lot of kills, do a lot of damage. HuK is going to lose every one of his sentries and probably most of these stalkers as well.
A lot more Dark Templars being wiped in as well, so if no Overseers are coming in, he will be fine eventually, but he's losing so many expensive Protoss. Well, now those Dark Templars are really doing some serious slicing.
You've got so many of them out on the map. And that actually turned out kind of bad for Red. I mean, he did some really good damage there, and he still has twice HuK's army supply.
Yeah, and the biggest problem for HuK is, in my opinion, that he doesn't really have great tech. Yeah, he doesn't have Blink, the first Immortal. He's going to get 2 Archons right now. But I actually don't find Archons all that great against roaches. Not like they're good in a big death ball, but they're not good when roaches can actually just single target them.
The DT's killed 15 total units. Now there's an Immortal out, and Immortals with force field actually pose a very real threat to Ret, who is still trying to run around and find openings, but HuK has just walled everything off beautifully.
Looking really quite good for, well, not looking great for HuK, but he has a little bit of money. They're even on supply. Actually, Red only had 58 drones, so Red is just right now making more drones. Did he lose? No, he barely lost any drones to Dark Templars. This is probably the first time that he's going to lose.
This is really frustrating for Red right now. A single DT is going to make its way into the natural expand here, and it is going to get shut down.
Well, HuK still didn't really kill a whole lot of workers, so good defense by Red, but supply-wise, Ben, this is starting to look scary.
And it all comes down to the overextension by Rhett, the not having the overseers there. Had he had detection, he would have killed everything. It was game over. It would have been
one-sided.
But now HuK has a supply lead, and this game's getting very interesting. Infestation Pit now going down for Red as we see the Warp Prism on the way for HuK. And look at this Protoss army, man. This is a very scary...
Yeah. It turned into a very weak army to suddenly a monster army against roaches at least. Now I like those Archons a whole lot more with those sentries added again, with those 2 Immortals there, a couple of Zealots to soak up a little bit. Then those Archons suddenly really contribute to this army as well. Infestation Pit is on the way, Ben, but if HuK is going to make a really big attack before those Infestors are out...
Red again with a misstep, losing a lot of Lings for free.
Oh, wow.
Wanted to throw a counterattack, but there was an army in the way.
Big Zealot weapon over here for HuK. This one is not going to be all that successful as there are a lot of roaches over here. I just find it crazy that how often do you see it, Ben, that there are Prominence so close to Red's base, just up for almost the entire game. That's not Red's
This
style.
one comes down to one thing, Kevin, and that's Red's choosing not to spread creep at all. And just by spreading creep, you eliminate all of this. You eliminate all of this blindness.
This was a free Archon. Well, it's still a free Archon. As you see the Warp Prism flying into the natural as well. There's going to be an annoying warp in for Red. Red is down in supply.
Will it be DTs?
HuK has so much money. How's Red going to win this?
I don't know if it's possible right now, Kevin. Red's having to deal with a huge push in his 4th base right now. Zealot's being warped in his natural. They're going to do a ton of damage. This is a great attack by HuK, who is really turning this game around.
HuK has 2,000 minerals. He can warp in so many units, so many reinforcements. +3 is almost ready as well. HuK did deal with the Warp Prism arrest, but how are you going to kill this army? And more importantly, how is he going to deal with the reinforcements of HuK?
Well, HuK has to build those reinforcements for starters, Kevin. He hasn't warped in anything in a solid minute. 8
Infestors on the way for Red. That is one way to deal with his army. 11 Infestors on the way for Red, but he did lose his 4th base. What's going on?
Yeah, HuK finally starting to produce some units back at home. I guess the reason we weren't seeing Warpins is because the Warp Prism died and there were no more forward pylons. Red's going to try to answer with a Zergling counter, but cannons and units and good building placement wait for him.
This is like a little maze. You saw the Zerglings? They were having the time of their life. They're wee! You can't find me now. You know, when I was a kid, I really liked mazes. But then I became pretty tall, so I could look over the little bushes, and it wasn't fun anymore. That's like a little childhood drama for me.
Wow. We have corn mazes here in the States. The bushes are like 12 feet tall.
Okay, so I can play again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big push coming from HuK, who's at 170 supply and making his way forward. Rhett does have Infestors out. He's going to need some great fungals. Does go ahead and throw one down on a big clump of Stalkers. That's a really nice fungal. And look at this! Everything's so clumped up on the ramp right now. HuK could actually lose so much here.
But Red just has so few remaining damage. I mean, the fungals, yes, they're absolutely fantastic. It might actually be enough, but there are still 4 Immortals, so Red can't really chase. A lot of Stalkers low on HP, but a lot of Stalkers did not die.
Wow, man, those fungals were so huge, Kev. And there was energy for more. I think he could have killed 12 Stalkers there. Yeah. But not refreshing it allowed HuK to blink away there.
HuK being, Red's still being active with a happy Ling. HuK, it's really time for a Robo Bay. Does he have a Robo Bay already? No, right? He's gonna get 4 more gates.
Doing all of this with no observer? Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
As right now HuK just posturing outside the natural of Red. He's got a ton of units. That is such a scary army. Blink Stalkers and Immortals. Red wants to threaten the counterattack somewhere with all these speedlings, but
poor Zealot, man.
The swarm! The swarm is coming!
Wow, great fungals over here by Red, and HuK is not there with his entire army, so he doesn't really want to fight right now, so just donated 5, 6, 7 Stalkers.
Very painful loss there. That was almost 20 supply.
Ben, without Colossus, I find this a very scary army to deal with. Yes, there are 22 Stalkers on the map with great upgrades.
There's also a ton of Archons, Kevin. I'm sorry, well, Archons, yes, but Immortals as well.
But so many Infestors. Oh, actually, those Infestors a little bit exposed. Oh, great blink!
Oh, wow, huge blink right on top of the Infestors. They are completely stuck. The downside, though, Zerglings fighting Stalkers. The Archon's terribly out of position. HuK needs to blink away right now. He's going to lose so much here. Red also taking heavy losses. Infested Terrans being dropped. Roaches are all going to melt away.
Yeah, that was not a good... I mean, the blink was great by HuK, and Red just goes GG.
GG, and HuK smacks Red for putting him in his group. He says, hey, what's up? 2-0.
Well, this was a really crazy game in so many ways. Like a lot of back and forth stuff happened. One moment looked absolutely fantastic for Red. I would have said borderline almost game over.
Yeah.
Then 4 DTs completely changed it around. And not in an offensive matter, but in a defensive matter, just by Red not having the overseer. But even that final fight, this was pretty much a fight that Red could have potentially won. Yes, there were Archons, there were Immortals, but imagine if he fights on a good moment. He had so many Infestors, and fighting that many Infestors, we can take another look at that.
There it is.
But that blink, look at the supplies band. It was closer than it has been in a very long time.
And the blink just totally isolating the Infestors, and forcing Ret to take the fight.
And also a couple of new Infestors, which were rallied in from the south side, immediately died.
Very awkward position to fight from. Ret immediately taps out after losing all of that. Wow, man. Honestly, that game was so over at different points for both sides. The fact that Ret attacks without detection into DTs, that cost him the game.
And he knew there were DTs because he dealt with the harassment flawlessly, didn't lose a single drone.
Right. I mean, if we go back a little bit further, we can say that the fact that HuK misplayed his DT tech so much and his early aggression so much, that basically cost him the game. That was a one game. So just unbelievable gameplay on both sides, but Roddy's first match to look forward to.
Yeah, but as you said, Ben, HuK. Red picked HuK to be in his group, and HuK taking the 2-0 victory, and HuK saying, that's what up, man.
That is what up. That game was brought to you guys by Cooler Master. Their full line of peripherals and awesome gadgets that make your computer run smoothly. Over at coolermaster.com. Go check them out. Wow, what a great game. We're going to take a very, very short break, folks, and then we're going to come back and wrap up day number 1 of Season 4 of the North American Star League. Thanks so much for joining us.